There are slow F1 drivers, there are unlucky F1 drivers,
That's extraordinary.
and then there's this elite club of speed demons who could out-qualify half the grid blindfolded, but still ended their careers with a win count of exactly 0. Nada, zilch, no victory parade, no champagne except maybe someone else's leftovers. These are the drivers who showed up, went fast, and then went home with absolutely nothing for it. Some of these guys were genuinely fast. Others just looked fast in comparison to their teammates.
Suck my balls, mate.
Or drove fast right into the barriers. But all of them share one thing in common. They never made it to the top step of the podium. To start the list off strong, Nico Hülkenberg is the most celebrated winless driver in F1 history. He started more races than some world champions have points, and yet his win tally is about as empty as Hayes's trophy cabinet. They used to call him Mr. Saturday because he'd pull out these miracle qualifying laps in midfield cars. Like, how is the Force India P4? Because Hülkenberg took it on a date, bought it dinner, and somehow made it believe in itself. He even stuck a Williams on pole in Brazil back in 2010. A feat so shocking even the Williams engineers thought their timing screens were broken. But race day? That's where it all fell apart. Either the car exploded, the strategy team pulled out their Uno reverse cards, or Nico decided to spontaneously spin himself into a gravel trap while fighting for a podium. His infamous crash in Germany 2019, while running P4 in the rain, felt like the universe personally rejecting him from ever standing on the podium, let alone winning. He's had over 200 race starts. No wins, no podiums, nothing. If that doesn't earn you a lifetime membership at the So Close Yet So Far club, I don't know what does. If there were a Nobel Prize for most inconsistent driver in F1 history, Romain Grosjean would have won it 7 times and probably crashed into the podium on the way to accept it. Let's get this out of the way. Romain Grosjean was fast. On his good days, he could absolutely send it. He had multiple podiums with Lotus, including some genuinely impressive drives against stacked competition. But those good days were like a lunar eclipse. Rare, unpredictable, and usually followed by something catching on fire. Remember Spa 2012? Romain went full bowling ball at turn 1, took out Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, and nearly ended a few careers. The FIA actually gave him a 1-race ban, which in F1 terms is like getting sent to the principal's office and expelled simultaneously. From that point on, every time Romain showed up on the timing sheet near the front, you could feel the stewards start sweating. The thing is, Grosjean had the pace. He just also had a magnetic attraction to carbon fibre shrapnel. Whether it was spinning out of the pit lane, blaming his teammate,
I think Ericsson hit us.
or asking over the radio if a gust of wind caused his crash, the Romain experience was never dull. By the time he landed at Haas, his raw speed was overshadowed by radio rants and very creative crash angles. And just when it felt like his career had quietly faded into the midfield mist, he ended up surviving one of the most terrifying crashes in F1 history in Bahrain 2020. He literally climbed out of a fireball like a movie hero. And suddenly, no one cared. He never won a race. He won something way more important: the respect of the entire racing world and possibly a second life. But on paper, still 0 wins. Still part of this elite heartbreak club. Nick Heidfeld is what happens when you're consistently good, but never good enough. Like, if F1 gave out participation trophies, Heidfeld would need a separate garage just to store them. This man raced for nearly a decade and finished on the podium 13 times. That's more than some race winners have in their entire career. But how many wins did he snag from those golden opportunities? Absolutely none. Heidfeld is statistically the most successful F1 driver never to win a race, which is like being told you're the world's tallest jockey. Impressive, but ultimately, you're in the wrong club. It wasn't for lack of trying. In the mid-2000s, Heidfeld had flashes of brilliance. Whether it was dragging a Sauber where it didn't belong, or keeping a cool head while chaos unfolded around him, Quick Nick lived up to his nickname more often than not. He could go toe-to-toe with big names like Webber, Massa and Kubica, and frequently came out ahead. But still, he was always just slightly off the pace of greatness. The worst part? The cars were just good enough to tease him. Like in 2007 and 2008 with BMW Sauber, the team was sniffing around race-winning form. But every time the stars aligned, someone else stole the glory. Usually his teammate, usually Kubica. And let's be honest, Heidfeld wasn't exactly Mr. Charisma. While other drivers were making headlines with spicy radio messages, Nick was polite, efficient, German, the F1 equivalent of a well-made IKEA dresser, functional, underrated and forgotten the second something flashier comes along. By the end of his career, Heidfeld was the go-to experienced guy you hired when you didn't want drama, just someone who'd bring the car home in one piece. So yeah, fast? Absolutely. Talented? No doubt. But race winner? Not even once. Kevin Magnussen's career started like a fever dream. First F1 race, first podium, everyone's jaws on the floor, McLaren fans whispering, "Is this the next Lewis Hamilton?" And then, nothing. Absolute radio silence for the next decade. To be fair, it wasn't all his fault. The man's career path has been like a roller coaster built by an indecisive toddler. 1 minute he's in a McLaren, then he's dropped for Fernando Alonso. Next thing you know, he's driving for Renault, then Haas, then out of F1 completely and doing Le Mans like some kind of motorsport sabbatical. Then, boom, he's back in F1 with Haas again. Like an ex you keep taking back even though you know they're going to ruin your Saturday. But through all of it, Kevin has always had pace. He's never been afraid to send it, even when sending it meant torpedoing into turn 1 like he was trying to open a wormhole. His wheel-to-wheel style? Aggressive. His attitude? Somewhere between I don't care and fight me. And yet, no wins. Not even close. Why? Because Haas mostly. The man has spent the prime of his racing years in a car that occasionally qualifies well, starts P4, and then plummets like a stone the second the lights go out. His 2022 Brazil pole was a miracle, and even then, nobody believed it would lead to a win, including Kevin. It's almost poetic. A driver who has the fire, the guts, and the raw aggression to take on anyone, trapped in a car that couldn't overtake a tractor. He's basically F1's version of a gladiator forced to fight in Crocs. Still, the fans love him, the paddock respects him, and if you ever need someone to drive a mediocre car like it owes him money...
You owe me money. That loan you took. It's payday.
Oh, sorry,
Kevin's your guy. Just don't expect to see him holding a winner's trophy anytime soon. If Formula One were a high school movie, Alex Albon would be the likeable transfer student who shows promise, gets picked on by the mean kids, and then finally wins over the whole school. But never actually gets the girl or the win. Let's rewind. In 2019, Albon got the call-up of a lifetime, promoted mid-season from Toro Rosso to Red Bull. One day, you're fighting for P13. The next, you're Max Verstappen's teammate, and everyone expects you to magically become a race-winning alien. And to be fair, he actually did pretty well for like 10 minutes. He showed pace, maturity, and some serious racecraft. But in classic Red Bull fashion, if you're not Max Verstappen, you're basically a glorified test dummy. The pressure was brutal, the car was tailored to Max's style. Let's not forget Brazil 2019. Albon was literally about to grab his first podium, maybe even a win, when Lewis Hamilton said no thanks and sent him spinning into oblivion. Then it happened again in Austria 2020. Same scenario, same villain. Albon's F1 bingo card was just Max, podium, Lewis, heartbreak. Eventually, Red Bull benched him because that's what they do. But instead of disappearing like Gasly 1.0 or Daniil Kvyat, Albon made a comeback. And not just any comeback. He returned with Williams, a team that had become the racing equivalent of a haunted house. But somehow, some way, Albon dragged that car into Q3, scored points, and looked like he was genuinely enjoying himself. The fans love him, the memes love him. Even the paddock seems to collectively agree this guy deserves better. Still, no wins, but if we're talking fast drivers with bad luck and worse timing, Albon's name is etched into the wall. Let me know in the comments which winless driver you'd put on this list, or if there's someone here you think actually did deserve to stay winless. No judgment. Okay, some judgment. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe for more F1 content. See you in the next one.